Okay, Jai Sachidanand. जय सच्चिदानंद पुलिनाथ जी मंत्र बोला जो
नमो वित्रागाय
नमो वितरागाय
नमो अरिहंताणं
नमो अरिहंताणं
नमो सिद्धाणं
नमो सिद्धाणं
नमो आयरीयाणं
नमो आयर्याणं
नमो वज्रायाणं
नमो
नमो
वज्राय
वज्रायाणं
नमो लोये सौव साहुणं
नमो
नमो लोये सप्प
गुणम्
साहुणं
ऐसो पंचन मुक्कारो
एषो
ऐसो
पञ्चनमुखारो
पञ्चमुखारो
सर्वपावपणासनो
सर्वपापनाशनो
नाशनो
मंगलाणं च सवेसेन
मङ्गलार्णं च सव्वेसिन्
परमं हवै मंगलम्
परमं
परमं
वै
हवै
मङ्गलम्
मङ्गलम्
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ
ॐ नमो भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय
ॐ
ॐ शिवाय
शिवाय
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय
जय
सच्चिदानंद।
सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय anybody's question. We were on Yavasit Shakti.
Yeah, so can I tell?
Jai
Thanks,
Sachidana, doctor.
Jai Sachidan. This is also experience that our punya, after.
Louder, louder.
Yeah, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, but louder. That's fine.
Yeah. So after month or so, we are meeting our punya with me, Mahatma Saputra. So in the meantime, two things I want to say is that first of all that I'm finding this subtitle videos very good, so because it is helping me to understand Dadaji in a more effortless manner, so all I have to do is just the translation and even as Deepak Anandji introduced me to this chat GPT, even the chat GPT is helping here, and it is giving translations for words which is not even existing in dictionaries, so it is very helpful that I even asked that where you got this, he said it was in prevalent use before, but right now you will not find it in dictionaries even. So one thing, and so it is so this whole setup with Aputras and Dadaji's Vani, so it is a very what you say satisfying and and energizing, and it things become natural. So one thing, and second thing, the developments with about the war, which is still like that. Like that, I want to discuss more about that because constantly I have thoughts about this. So how to more in efficient manner to handle those thoughts. That is the aim. So so the thoughts will come like that these are I realize that I have negative thoughts for the Muslims and this other countries, so that also is file for me. So like Aputra said that those you have thoughts, that you have a connection with them. So I decided little bit pratikraman to do for that also. So they are also files, and it amazes me, so that I mean the times are like that countries will. And they could be any countries, so there what the system happens is that they make weapons and they sell to both the parties, not even one party, they sell both the parties. So I mean, just thought come to my mind, I'm just revealing. So both the parties, so it amazes me, so how it is happening, so why it is happening, these are all thoughts will come, and so that all is there. So you can throw more light, so how it is with you, and other Mahatmas, so and how do they handle, so we can also handle better, so that is my yes.
Pulinanandji,
આ બુદ્ધિની વાત છે. આ બુદ્ધિની English, sorry. This is the result of our intellect, where it seeks for justice, ન્યાય. Number one. Number two, જે દ્વેષ ઉભો થાય છે, the abhorrence that is generated for, say, Muslims, is because we have attachment or rag for Indians. We have attachment and rag for the truth, for non-violence, non-hurting people, So on the other end, we will obviously, it will automatically generate abhorrence or dvesh for persons, means for the Muslims or persons who are against your rag. So that is the reason why you are having these pangs of abhorrence, pangs of dvesh for the Muslims. This is a general principle, which will be, today it is in this case, the political scenario for the country. It is also applicable for at our worldly sansar or relative world also, with people surrounding us, maybe family or friends, where it will generate rag or dvesh, attachment or abhorrence. So this is to understand the science of what is playing out within file number 1. This is all part of discharge. Discharge understanding, discharge pothapam that we have brought, our discharge buddhi that we have brought, that is at play. And the root cause of this abhorrence, as I told you, is, attachment for India or truth or non-violence, all put together. So this is the root cause. Then once I understand this, so my this thing will reduce for them. The abhorrence for them will reduce. It will pop up, not that it will stop. It will pop up. So every time we have to give this answer. Then number 2, the other global understanding which Dada Bhagwan has given us. He predicted many years ago that all this is going to happen, that the world war will take place. India, Pakistan will fight. Pakistan is going to release its nuclear bomb on us because it has been made or manufactured with those intentions. ऐसे भावों से बनाया हुआ है, made for Pakistan. Sorry, made for India. Pakistan made those nuclear bombs for India to explode for India. Same way at that time here also, I remember his words very clearly. At that time, there were 2 superpowers, America and Russia. It was the United USSR, it was called United States of Soviet Union. So those were also 2 powerful military nations during his time. They are still, but China was not so much on the scene. And everybody, both of them were making warheads and nuclear warheads. And everybody says, and Dada said very clearly that America is making these bombs with the intention to harm, hurt, or for it to explode on Russia. So the words he used were, America has made bombs for Russia. Russia has made for America. So those intentions are going to get fulfilled. That is what he said. So the intentions with which arms are made, manufactured, or designed, those will get fulfilled. So these were his global revelations, brief revelations. He didn't go into details as to what's going to happen in the future. So with that background, we are now visualizing or understanding, yes, what Dada has predicted is now coming into force. That is as far as Dada is saying. Third angle, if you want to put, is that all this is part of Vyavasthit. that India, Pakistan are on terror terms. And then India has been bullied, you can say, by terrorism, by the Muslims and other communities. Not only Muslim, in the Northeast also, there's Halla China is doing Halla. So Sri Lanka was doing in between LTE. So there is a historical background of those political upheavals. So this is part of Vyavasthit, and we have to watch out. Number 4, we have no play or no way or no say rather in the matters. I cannot tell the Indian political leadership that do this, do that, you should do this, you should do that, because it's not in my purview right now. If I were in that seat, yes, then maybe I have to do something. No, I'm totally helpless. I'm totally a spectator. Then in this scenario, why should I do bhav hinsa? Violence at the thought level. Why should I do bhav hinsa? That is, have nurse negative feelings, nurse abhorrence or dvesh for the Muslims. Why? That is bhav hinsa. I am ruining my moksha. I am polluting my understanding, which I have got with the help of Gnan. I am polluting that understanding. So I should not do that. That is why, these are all means of how to rein in our abhorrence, which is arising within us due to the political scenario. And finally, if at all one wants to do a puruषार्थ, a vitrag puruषार्थ is that, બંનેને સદબુદ્ધિ હો, બંનેનું કલ્યાણ થાઓ. May both get good intellect. May both countries' welfare take place. May the welfare of the countries means the leadership of the countries. May they get the good intellect, and may they get may peace prevail. Now, that is the bhavna we can do. This is a counter remedy to the abhorrence feelings, thoughts that are arising within us due to our intellect, due to our belief of what is right, a strong belief of right, a strong, political or national pride. It's good. National pride is good, nothing wrong. But if it is causing a lot of pain, that is where we need to do it. National pride, even I have. But when negative thoughts, I just calm it down with the positive thoughts and whatever I've said before. So that's how I rein in this thing, and I remain an observer that this is happening inside me. At times, initially, I also had the curiosity what's happening in Operation Sindoor, how far it has progressed, what's happening. The initial few days, I was keeping a track, for just a little bit, not more, but 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, some feelings. Then I said, just hold on. The news will come automatically to me. I should not pollute my thoughts, my understanding, and do the vitrag bhavna of Kalyan Ho, because I know this is all being played out as part of Vyavasthit. All this will happen, and only after all the vinash will take place all around the world, with world war, with natural calamities, volcanoes and earthquakes and whatnot. After that, the world population will reduce, and then peace will prevail all around the world, and India is going to become the center of the world. The people from foreign countries will come to understand how to lead a good life, where is true happiness, and India will be the leading country. Although already it has started. On the economic front, India is the 4th largest economy. So financially and spiritually, but spiritually also we will come very, very high. So having this global mindset behind us, the question is how to calm down our mind, how to satisfy our intellect, with what gnan or with what understanding. So these are the ways we can counteract our mistake. And I tell you, this political scene, is one limit. Once we learn that the tools are common, whether it's a political unrest or upheaval, or it is something at home or surrounding our people. The principle is common. So once we catch hold of the principle, it will help us all around to handle situations, whatever situations that arise in our life, whether at the personal level, professional level, or maybe at the national level. So this gross principles will help us to remain equanimous, spread goodwill, do good bhavna, good intent that may peace prevail, jagat kalyan ho, may good intellect everybody, savadana sadbuddhi ho. So these are the positive vibes which will help us. It will help us first to remain vitrag, to remain in samadhi, and also send out positive vibes. This is what Dada Bhagwan said, Jagat Kalyanu Nimit Thao, Jagat Kalyano, Jagat Kalyano, Jagat Kalyano. If all Mahatmas ever do the positive vibes, go in nature. And it has its own effect. It has its own effect. So this is my understanding of how to handle the uphill inside us due to situations outside. Jai Satyam.
Jai Sachidanand. Doctor, just think that if Dada Bhagwan would have been here or Mahavir Bhagwan would have been here, what he would have been thinking about this situation.
Yeah, I'm thinking what he would done and what would be the effect, on with means there is something called aura now, which has been discovered by and it is called differently in our scriptures, but aura, they say, has an effect, and if one with the Keval Gyan has some pacifying influence. This is what I understand. I want to know more about that. How much Keval Gyan person has influence, positive influence on these things, So and as you said that the world is our own projection. So these things are coming. So what I see is that these things are coming because this kind of Parmanu or molecules are inside us, So that is why they are manifesting in front of us right now, because they are another person is the nimit, So this is what I understand, and yeah, that's what my.
Just to give a little more clarification on this, while these absolutes were there, wars were taking place, but not within certain periphery of their presence. Do you understand that?
How much was the periphery?
Huh?
How much is that periphery? How much distance?
I think so. What is that? 50? 50 miles? Something. There is some periphery. There is a periphery. What Dada Bhagwan said that about his state and how would it happen that if somebody is running after someone to kill or hurt the person, and imagine both of them was near the satsang where there's a place where satsang was happening, and both of them come into the room, into the satsang hall. Both of them will forget enmity, fear. The guy who wanted to hurt the other person will forget his feeling. The person who was in fear and running around, he will also forget his fear. Both of them will sit peacefully in the presence of Dada Bhagwan. But the moment they go out, they both will have their feelings, and the other guy will start running after the other person to hurt him, to hit him, to. Do you understand?
So it has a.
Dada Bhagwan said about this, and he said for Tirthankar Bhagwan, this periphery is like, I believe, 50 mile or something, 50 kos. Now, what is that, 50 kos? I don't know. But anyway, that periphery is much, much bigger than of Dada Bhagwan. But beyond that, everything is as it is in the nature.
Course is about 3 kilometers.
Huh?
One course is about 3 kilometers. So around 100-150.
We don't want to go into that details, but the fact is because of the divinity of absolute person, that is Tirthankara, a certain periphery is there within which everything is normal, natural, perfect, nobody is fighting, nobody has that negative feeling also because of their level of non-violent state, their inner non-violent state. But beyond that, everything is there. So, only thing is that we need to understand that these differences, these wars, these fights, they do happen. This is part of worldly life. And one is physical, other is mental. But what we need to understand is how much are we able to not tolerate, understand, and remain absolutely impartial.
Mm.
And you will bless both of them, pray for both of them that they both come out of these feelings. Because at the end of the day, whoever wins or whoever loses, loss is at both the sides. And it's a big loss. It is said that one evident war brings down your economy by 5 to 10 years. Now imagine, is it good for both? No, it's not good for both.
Mm. Yeah, right.
And if you analyze the situation, what either parties did, you
Mm.
will understand some good points of either side or bad points of either side.
And it gives an
You understand?
opportunity to do the positive bhavna, that because before negative bhavna was done before, now it is an opportunity to do positive.
Also, one more thing. What you had said, I just want to recollect that because these paramanus are within me, it is happening outside. No, 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 no. It is not that. Even with Tirthankar Bhagwan's presence, beyond this limit, things are happening. Do you understand?
Yeah, so the Brahmanus, the world is our own projection.
It doesn't mean that with your inner state, nothing will happen in this whole world. This universe is very wide and big.
Right, but
But one with this divinity, at least within a little small periphery, things will not happen.
yeah,
And
with
think, just think what would Dada think or what would Mahavir Bhagwan think when such a thing is happening beyond their peripheral state.
Beyond the periphery, it will happen, right?
Huh?
Beyond it depends on it. And you said also one time that even in the presence of Tirthankar, sometimes some violence happened because
Not
of.
sometimes. It is always there. You know what is the vastness of this land?
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm.
When he said about 50 course or whatever, 10 mile, 50 mile, 100 mile, let us say, what is the vastness of this universe?
Mm.
And things are going to happen. And whoever wants to do whatever he wants to do, he has his own choice.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Sachin.
Doctor, please respond.
Yes, correct. Right. Yes, correct.
Hello?
Yeah, my voice is coming. Am I audible?
Now you are audible.
Yes, yes, correct. Yes, it is correct. Yes, Sachin.
Ji Sachidanand. Shailya ji.
Jai Sachidanand Deepakanji, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah, it was not a question. Also, my thing was my observation was also about the war, and also I was there when in India when the Pahalgam incident happened. So my reaction was more of a kind of sadness because when obviously after that incident and then the war thing happened, and as you mentioned, wars are inevitable. It's going to happen. It's always happening in some part of the world. But in my case, it was not an abhorrence or anything, but it's more a case of the media is just polarizing the country. They are just, it's only because of the media that, you have so many such strong reactions from people. And it's only a select few people, I mean, like, who are, for whatever reason, they're committing these kind of crimes. So the way I was more, the way I was influenced was I was influenced by the stories that is coming out in the media, and it's like 24 hours I was watching it. So, but now at least now this week I was able to get out of this. But I got sucked into all that, all the whole one news network after the other, and then I realized that okay, you know what, this is not helping me at all. And so now I've stopped doing all that, and I'm like just praying for with the general well-being of everyone. So that is my reaction to this whole thing that happened in Pahalgam. But even now, I do tend to go back and keep watch the news and what's happening and try to keep, like, I don't know why I keep doing that, but it doesn't help. But yeah, that is my reaction.
Just one question. The
Yes.
Ukraine war is also going on.
Yes, exactly.
How much were you into that war?
Yes, you're right. That's why exactly because it is so personal this time because it's India and that's why because we have that bond, right? So that's why we are reacting so strongly. Like you said, the wars are there. It's happening all over the world, and so many people are dying every day.
Renandi.
No, you're right. We have Ukraine war since maybe now 2-3 years old.
Yes,
Then
of
you
course.
also have the Israel-Hamas thing going on. So
Yes.
this political and this turmoil is going to increase, if I may say
Yes.
so, which will lead to full and final finishing. So we have to just take it easy. And you rightly said, because it was India and Indians, so that it affects us more. It affects us.
Yes.
Fine. Right. So you see, the thing is, the beauty to understand, if I just on the sidelines of all this, the whole thing is, I reacted in some way, Dr. Kashyap reacted in some way, you reacted in some way. Now that
Yes.
is a revelation of our Prakriti. It's a revelation of what are our beliefs that are lying dormant within us.
Yes.
Each reacts differently because based on the feelings or emotions that are lying within us. As a lady, you will have a lot of, love and affection, caring, emotional, mamta and all. So then that is the feeling of sadness that the innocent
Yes, you
people
felt very
died, that
yes.
young couple died and things like that.
Yes.
I would view it from the intellectual point of view. Someone will, Dr. Kashyap also from the intellectual. So that is a revelation of our own Prakriti. And it's a mirror to our Prakriti. And then we must see how is it going to help me or is it an obstruction in my path to moksha, in my journey of Purusharth towards Keval Gnan. These emotions that are within me, this Parmanus, this Kashais, this Moha, this Potapano, it is all within me. I just have to observe it and then see and manage it based on my journey towards moksha. So it's a good revelation. It's a good revelation.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jai Sachidan.
Jai Sachidanand, I'll just bring a small part of it, which we did it in what do you call that? Daily Purusharth moment. Just a moment. Yeah. It says we must listen to our own speech. If you find any kind of agony or suffering, then this is the expression of your inner state that one who is suffering, he is at fault. Do you understand that?
Yes. It's always the fault of the, the suffering.
Yeah. So whatever we are suffering, whatever is the level of suffering, it naturally gets expressed in our speech, inner or outside, verbal or non-verbal. So here, what we must understand that this indicates what is the level of suffering one is passing through, and needs to find out solution which Dada Bhagwan has given. Sufferer is at fault, so now you have to find your solution which Dada has already given. Correct?
Got it.
It's like these absolutes, Tirthankar Paramatma and Jnani Purusha. They are ultimate compassionate people. They will have compassion for both the parties.
Parties,
They
yes.
will not side anyone.
Yes. We cannot, there's no one to blame here.
That's what. So because we are on the relative worldly side also, as citizen of India.
Yes.
We have to dramatize and act accordingly, which Honorable Prime Minister did it perfectly.
Yes.
The
Yes.
purpose, the goal, everything was very clear, and we never crossed our boundaries.
Yes, we did
That's
not. Yeah.
how the whole world is even supporting India,
Hmm.
correct?
Yes, definitely.
This is what we have to do. That
Hmm.
with this Dada's understanding, you will remain inside non-violent, peaceful, calm. And on the dramatic side, that is on the relative, by relative viewpoint, you have to play your part.
Hmm.
You have to play your part accordingly also, which Lord Krishna guided the Pandavas.
Yes.
And even after doing all that, they passed through the process of pratikraman also. That's how they attained moksha. Do you understand this?
Yes, I got it perfectly.
Part of your worldly responsibility, you will play your part, which normally at that level of uh, Tirthankara, this never happens.
Hmm.
But with them, things definitely do happen, and we have stories of Lord Mahavira, what he had to pass through. But because that was his last life, he never had to retaliate. Everything was cool from his side. He never reacted, he never hurt anyone. But that was his final clearance of his suffering, which he cleared amicably, perfectly, and that's how he attained absoluteness.
Hmm.
Correct?
Hmm. Yes.
Jai Sachidanand.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailaji. Meera, are you there? Meera?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Jai Sachidanand. Your
Jai Satchidanand, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, all
Jai
Mahatmas, Jai
Sachidanand.
Satchidanand. I have a question and an experience. So
Please.
I'll start with my experience first because it was actually very profound and I wanted your guidance. So I am I am trying very hard. Not I'm trying very hard. Every day I do pratikraman. I mean, no, sorry, not pratikraman. Every day I'm doing purusharth. Every day I do purusharth. Every day I try to stay in jnana. Every day I see everyone as nirdosh. I'm following all the guidelines that you and Dada have set. So I'm trying very hard to do. At some point, and I wanted to ask, this is a Vivasith question. At some point, it was very interesting because suddenly there was a moment, and I've had many of these moments when the the real is very real, and the relative is only somewhat relative. So the real is the real, and the relative is the relative, meaning that I can see Meera do everything, can without watch and know Meera do everything. What was really interesting is that Meera's intellect pops up every so often when these blissful, peaceful moments happen, and Meera's intellect says, Meera, this is all you need to do in life. Just keep going like this. Just don't do anything. You can be like this. But my intellect is saying it in such a weird way that suddenly I'm realizing that, ayo, this is the intellect. This is not Shuddhatma that's saying go on like this. This is intellect that's saying go on like this. And then I crash back down. How do I stop that from happening? Or is that just Vivasith? At some point, I just have to accept that at some point we'll all attain moksha. At some point, we'll all attain that real vision that we are supposed to get.
Pulinanandji.
See, now let me ask one thing. You are experiencing a blissful state of separateness.
Mm.
This is real and this is relative.
Mm.
And one voice inside says, continue, this is what you should be doing.
Mm.
Now, what makes you feel it is your intellect who is saying this?
Because Shuddhatma won't tell me anything, no? Shuddhatma will only, Shuddhatma, to be is to know. There's no need for some voice to tell this Meera to keep doing this, right? I don't know. That's
There
why I'm
is a
asking.
voice.
Huh.
There is a voice. There is a voice of the Shuddhatma, which anyway is guiding you and alerting you in whenever Meera makes a mistakes. That is the voice of the Pragna Shakti. Doesn't Pragna warn you when you make a mistake? Meera, come back, this is wrong.
Yes.
What is Pragna? Pragna is nothing but the Shakti or the energy of the pure soul. It is the pure soul in operation.
So instead, but
So
Meera.
so what voice you are getting was not the voice of the intellect. It was the voice of the Prajna, which is saying, continue, remain in this blissful state of separateness. Real is real and relative is relative.
Sure.
And you are watching Meera, file number 1, do things, whatever, Antaskaran and Bhayakaran. You are in observer state, you are in a blissful state. So Prajna is telling you, remain in this state. This is what all the Purusharth that all of us are doing is to come in that state and remain in that state.
Okay.
Today we are overwhelmed by the Prakriti, intellect, man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Now, in order that we don't get overwhelmed or, sort of it covers up or wheels up. In order that does not happen, we are doing all this purushadh. We are pacifying the intellect, pacifying the mind, pacifying the ego, pacifying the wrong belief that we carry. The idea is so that they don't hinder our Shuddhatma awareness. They don't hinder our I am the pure soul awareness, that blissful moment, the blissful experience. Now, once you're getting this experience, you are in that state and you are experiencing separateness with Meera. So Krishna is telling, go ahead, remain in this state. This is ultimately all of us are just doing the pursha to come in and remain in that state. So Krishna is saying, now that you have experienced this state, continue. This is your end goal. Krishna is saying, give importance to this awareness, this experience state, which by default means lessen the importance of the relative matters. They will anyway take place according to Vyavasthit. So you do not have like too much of your mind or too much of your intellect for the Vyavasthit part to play. Whatever is necessary, that much of mind intellect will take place. But you don't leave your seat. You don't leave. You are the pure soul. Do not leave the seat of the pure soul. Remain in this pure soul awareness state, aware of what Veera or file number 1 is doing, aware of the Antaskaran of Meera, aware of the Vani, speech, and aware of the body or actions of Meera.
Yes.
So that Prajna Shakti is prompting you to remain in this seat of the pure soul. It is not your intellect. So moment you come back to that experience, reinforce it, reinforce it, and keep coming back to that. That's the final destination.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay, so that I have to keep, maybe because that intellect is, because I took it as this was a negative thing, thinking it was my intellect. So now I should probably, so if that situation comes again, I will remain.
Because weren't you experiencing bliss when you were in that state?
Yes, complete. Nothing. There's nothing.
That bliss itself is the bliss of the pure soul or Shuddhatma.
Okay.
So you are in touch with that pure soul experience of bliss by way of bliss is one of the parameters or emotions or experiences. You have Gnata, Drashta, knower and seer also. But that bliss. So when you are experiencing bliss, you are experiencing the bliss of the pure soul. So obviously that is what we are hankering for.
And not okay.
So that is a proof of the pudding. That is a proof of the pudding that it was not your intellect, it was your Prajna Shakti.
And Meera's Swabhav, Meera's Prakriti pulls her back down. Got it. Thank you. That is, I will remember. But it was bliss, But bliss not like ho ho ha ha, this jumpy, but peaceful. Oh,
Ah,
so separate, so
ah,
perfect.
that,
But 1 nanosecond only, because the voice came and I said, okay, that Meera came back to whatever this was.
so
But
you can still revert back to that state whenever you have the time, spare time. You just do Shuddhatma Chu, pray, say, chant very peacefully with Dada Nidhi Jasa. Maybe you'll come back to that state.
I hope so. I hope so.
Or
So that
whenever it pops up. But remember, don't divert or don't try to go away from that, move away from that experience.
Jai Sachidanand. I will. Thank you, Pulinanandji.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'll just try to analyze one thing
Hmm.
like
Ah.
you are Meera and you have wisdom from two individuals.
Hmm.
Two individuals. Imagine they are like individuals. You're
Hmm.
always listening to the wiser person, that is Pragna Shakti. And you had been listening and you are listening.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean the less wiser intellect will stop telling you. You are not listening to the intellect.
Hmm.
You are listening to Pragna Shakti only. That's how you are enjoying and experiencing bliss. You understand? You are not
Yes.
listening to the intellect because
Hmm.
that intellect has not stopped. You have stopped listening to the intellect. So at times, while you are attuned with the Pragna Shakti and its wisdom and separation and bliss,
Hmm.
these voices you will hear, but you're not responding. So you don't have to worry. What is
Okay.
important? Who you are listening to, Pragna Shakti or intellect? Intellect has not stopped. Why it hasn't stopped? Because discharge egoism of ownership is still there.
Hmm.
So till that is there, it
Hmm.
will try to interfere. You're not letting it interfere. You're not listening to that intellect. So it doesn't mean that it will stop uh, reacting. Intellect will react because of the discharge egoism. But you are not listening to the other friend. You are
Correct.
always listening to the wiser Pragna Shakti.
And I should
It's
just
like you always have two choices, either to listen to Pragna Shakti or intellect. Intellect is still there. With the acquisition of knowledge, self realization, intellect hasn't stopped because you have not yet got away with discharge egoism. Dada said his discharge egoism, he got away with it. So there is no question of intellect intervening or disturbing him because he has won over his intellect. He has been over his intellect. Do you understand?
Yes.
Our part intellect is still there, but we are not listening to the intellect. We are not reacting with intellect, but we are responding positively through Pragna Shakti. And that is making us experience bliss and separation. I can't say stop. He says, I'm not operating of my own. You be wise and always listen to the Pragna Shakti, which Dada has told you. You don't listen to me. And if you listen to me, it is your problem, not my problem. Do you understand?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So this is how
I listen.
ultimately it is going to subside when all our discharge egoism going to eliminate. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Thank you, Meera.
Thank you. Jai
Dr. Krishnan. Sorry, I unmuted you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
I just have to salute our armed forces. I come from a very strong Fauji family. which
Right.
I think people integrate India like no other system, you know. So I've been in these areas. I mean, my uncle was posted in Leh, Ladakh. I have another uncle they're all retired now, but was in the Air Force, and later he was part of RAW. So that's the first thing I wanted to acknowledge. Second thing I want to ask you is, I say this Nischay Niyaman, that this was a booklet that you guys gave us in 2011. And the first thing, prayer. So my question is this. I'll read this thing to you. Not the entire thing, but this is the thing. હું શુદ્ધાત્મા સ્વભાવથી હું
કોઈ
કોઈ
પણ ક્રિયાનો
કરતો નથી. હું અકર્તા છું અને વ્યવસ્થિત શક્તિ જ કરતા છે. શક્તિમાં દખલ ના કરું એવી શક્તિ આપો.
Correct.
હે દાદા ભગવાન, હે શુદ્ધાત્મા ભગવાન, મને શક્તિ આપો. સંજોગોને વિતરાગ દૃષ્ટિથી જોવાની શક્તિ આપો, શક્તિ આપો. Explain that. संजोगों को वितराग दृष्टि से देखना.
Just the preceding sentence, व्यवस्थित शक्ति करता है. व्यवस्थित शक्ति is the doer. So obviously, व्यवस्थित शक्ति is the doer. I should accept that and not do any interference. डखो दखल करवानी शक्ति है वो. And that itself shows vitrag bhavati jovani shakti. So I have to just remain vitrag and see what Vyavasthit is playing out. You know, for example, there's a tornado or there's a monsoon, you know, just out of the blue. So that is part of Vyavasthit. And then you remain an observer and see when it will subside and go away. So remain an observer state and not doing dakhodakar in the sense, why he did this like that, he should not be doing like that, this is right, this is wrong. This is doing dakhodakar in Vyavasthit. Don't do that, you're vitrag. Vitrag means without rag or without desh. So without the like or without the dislike, give me the strength to remain an observer. Sanjogone vitrag drashtiti jovani shakti apo. Whatever circumstances, events that unfold before me, give me the strength to remain an observer without generating a like or a dislike for those circumstances or events.
You know, that's a tall order in reality.
It's not too tall.
But I'm just saying.
You see, it's a very, it's a critical Purusharth. It's a critical
very profound, deep thinking. ये संजोग है और इसको वितराग दृष्टि से ही देखना है. Because there are only two things, only Atma and Sanjog.
Anyway, most of the Sanjog we have no control or play also.
Correct.
So then obviously it's very easy to remain vitrag over there. Vitrag basically, essentially, this asking of this particular strength. Sanjogone vitrag drashti jovan shakti abo gave me the strength to observe the circumstances or equanimously. It is all that it is saying is because if I'm not equanimous, what am I? I am rag dvesh or like dislike. Like dislike means it is my perception of what I like and my perception of what I don't like based on what is right or what is wrong. That is your so those are all. It basically leads to the beliefs that we have within us, which is generating this like and dislike.
Yes, that is right, because it says પાછલા અજ્ઞાનની ચિકાશને કારણે હું સંજોગોમાં મારાપણું પોતાપણું કરાવશે.
મારી ચિકાસ. This is the stickiness I have generated in my ignorant state. It's right. Our country, we must fight for our country. We must fight. Now, someone who has reinforced that, he is going to boil when something happens to the country. That is his belief. And a person like me who has not brought a strong belief for the country will not boil. So chikas is the intensity with which I have pumped in those beliefs. Either of like, dislike or whatever, what is right and what is wrong. The what we call as potapa. So basically, by asking that strength, we are ultimately going down to our beliefs that we have brought, and we are asking strength that may I not get carried away by those beliefs, may it not result into severe likes or dislikes, may I get the strength to observe it with Ragbhav. When you say that, all the things that will pop up, and then we have to then square off all the things that are popping up, the beliefs that are popping up, then you have to apply the Gnan over there, or ask beliefs to come and go, pass away. Just say, okay, good, good. You are patriotic for the country. Good, good. I understand. I observe. And now you please go. So that's one of the way of handling the discharge beliefs which pop up under various circumstances. That is the best way. If you allow to be observed, allow it to pass away, pass away, pass away. So you don't get carried away. Or if you are getting carried away, then you apply a counter belief. Of if there's a dvesh, then apply rag or rag this thing, or the right understanding to nullify that thing. Like for example, this war thing that came up. They said, okay, it's part of our state. Lord Mahavir was there. He would be doing the same thing, observer status, this, that. So it squares off the feeling of hatred for the enemy country.
Yes.
So there are two ways to manage this. The starting point is asking for this strength. And then when the thing pops up, events unfold, then something will happen. And then you have to manage the unfolding.
Correct.
So the two ways you can manage the unfolding.
That's where the sticking point is. Sanjogo ko vitrag drishti se dekhna.
Now that will only happen.
Instantaneous.
That will only happen effortlessly or happen, let us say, a little more smoothly with Prashad, if and if we come to our own seat of the pure soul. If I come in the pure soul awareness that I am Shuddhatma, I am pure soul, and this is file number 1, and this file number 1 is separate from me, then what will happen? You remain you first been observer of the file number 1 or the emotions coming out in file number 1 of like dislike, then you will scare it off or remain with it. Because, oh, it's in the neighbor, fine, fine, cross, cross, bye, bye, whatever way. So it ultimately leads to the crux is come back to your seat or come back to your pure soul awareness that I am the pure soul.
Correct.
So this is the starting point. A very layman or bachcha ki language mein hai ye Shakti Mago. It will lead to observing the inner turmoil, the power band, and then it will lead to the inner Purushat, and ultimately you will come back to the Shuddhatma state. It's a sequence of the Purushat which goes. But this is the starting point, verbalized starting point of ask for this strength.
Yes, thank you.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. You know, doctor, when we say I don't meddle with the circumstances, I see all the circumstances in an unbiased vitrag bhave. What is the end effect of every circumstance? The finality of every happening is suffering. And that suffering is either of punya karma of liking type or pap karma of negative side. That is happiness or unhappiness. Correct? Now, in those bouts of suffering, happiness or unhappiness, you remain unbiased in the sense you understand that these happiness and unhappiness are part of pap and punya karma, of the past karmas, which is affecting doctor. It is not affecting me, my inner intermediate enlightened state.
Correct.
Which I have realized from Dada Bhagwan as my true identity, as a pure soul that I am. Correct? So this is how you remain unbiased, because those results are definitely going to come and they will affect Dr. Lalita.
Yes.
But you will remain separate, unbiased, impartial, and perceive both this suffering of happiness type and unhappiness type as a passing event only.
Mm-hmm.
They have come, they will go. They will come and they will go. And you
Yes.
will remain as a perceiver, as pure soul that you are. That's what it means by remaining unbiased. I just bring this back. See this. Oh, Dada Bhagwan of yours, give me that infinite strength so that I never ever meddle with the operation of the Vyoti Shakti and view circumstances with an unbiased vision. Now, what is that unbiased vision, impartial vision is that they are not my. I don't own them, but
Right.
these are passing events like how
Shakti.
you perceive activities of Dr. Lalita, physical activities of her speech and activities of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then these are activities of suffering which are very subtle and they affect us the most.
Mm-hmm.
Liking type or disliking type both affect us because we are not able to remain separate at the level of suffering. The liking part, we are into it, and disliking part, we are totally out of it. And we
Correct.
experience that. But in those moments of suffering, liking or disliking, I will remain as a perceiver so that I remain unbiased through that perception, power of perception. Correct?
Yes.
Because both come and go, they don't stay.
Right.
But I, as pure soul, perceiver, remain forever. And that's how I experience bliss when I perceive these liking or disliking suffering aspect of the name bearer as
Yes.
karmic effect of the
As I said,
past.
a Viyogi Swabhav.
Correct. So don't get overwhelmed by liking type or don't get disappointed by the disliking type. Both are going to go away. So just wait and watch and keep perceiving their entry and their exit. And the time during which they are there, they are going to bother Lalita. But you will remain with her, pacify her that I am there with you, don't worry. They will come and go, but I'll be there with you. And with that, Lalita will always get connected with you in a way, that somebody is there, that is to take care of me. Do you understand?
Yes. I've gone
And
through
that's
that.
how we surpass such situations of liking and disliking circumstances in a very positive way, without getting pacified, without getting affected, and remain totally in a pacified state, peaceful state. Jai Sachidanand.
You
Thanks. Jai Sachidanand, our time is up, and
Yes.
we will continue with this next time. Till then, Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji, 3 months.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Varihandanam.
Namo Antanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajayanam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
Namo Kesava Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchalamukaro.
Sauvapa Vappanasano. Manglanancha Savesen. Samam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Mahatma ho jaye.
Runaben, Kashyapbhai, Leelaben,
Jai
Shailaben,
Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand,
Meera, Jai
Jai
Sachidanand,
Satchidanand.
Dr. Runaben, Jai Sachidanand, Dr. Krishnan, Jai Sachidanand, Shailaji, Meera, Jai Sachidanand, Pulinanandji.
Jai Satchidanand, Deepakanandji.
Jai Satchidanand.